Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you all are doing great. I feel that you have seen any of my videos by now, but if not, if this is your first video, I am completing Python from scratch in this complete series. We have already completed till function, and this is going to be the lecture 5 of our series. And today we are going to talk about recursion. And before starting this video, I request that you should have a good knowledge about functions in Python to have a good understanding of all the upcoming topics about arguments, parameters, and many more. So without any further delay, let's get started. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do subscribe and let's talk about the topics of the day. So the main goal for today are parameters, arguments, and recursion, right? In this, we are going to also talk about positional and keyword arguments. So let's get started. So the topic for the day is parameters versus arguments. We'll understand what is the difference between both of them. Then we will study about positional and keyword arguments. Then we'll talk about this. This is not that important for you. Just use star RGS, which is important. Then we'll talk about argument unpacking. Then we'll talk about recursion basic, which is the most interesting topic for the day. And then we'll talk about a few base cases, the call stack, and a few coding questions from recursion, right? Okay. So what we have learned in the previous videos, we have learned about while loops and for loops. We have talked about nested loops. We have talked about encapsulation and generalization, and we have understood why is it important. Function call, type conversion, quotient, and the math module. We have completed all this. We have talked about pre-built functions, and we have also learned how to create your own function according to your needs, right? So let's talk about parameters and arguments, different ways to pass values into function, right? What does that mean? Let's go. Yeah, parameter versus argument. A parameter is a basically you write, see, you define it in this way. We write def and then we write the name of the function and we put a variable kind of thing inside those brackets, right? That is known as the parameter, a placeholder in which you can put any value at any particular time when you run that, when you actually call that function, right? So an argument is the actual value you supply when you call the function. Is that clear to you? Moving to the next slide. Before that, see here, people often use two words interchangeably in conversation, but the distinction matters when reading Python documentation and error messages. So here in the example C, greet Asha. So here Asha is the argument. The placeholder, in the placeholder Asha is being passed and name is the parameter. So you are understanding the difference between it? Okay. Positional arguments matched by order. What do you mean by positional arguments? Like when we use it to create any of the thing which has got two parameters, like we are creating a power function. Okay, so in it first is the base case and other is the exponent case. So base and the power value, if you interchanges somehow, if 2 and 5, so 2 is the base, 2 to the power 5, if you change it, you put the value interchangeably 5 to the power 2, the completely meaning will be changed. That is the whole point of it. Talking about parameters, placeholder in a fixed left to right manner. The way it is written from it starts from left and it moves towards right. Okay. So calling power 2, 5 sends 2 base and 5 to exponent purely by position. Swap the order in the call and the meaning swaps 2, which completely changes the calculation. Talking about positional arguments, let's see the code. This is the same thing I told you before, like if there is 2 and its power is taken as 5, so it is 32, right? The output comes 32. And if you by mistakenly wrote it as 5 and 2, it will come 25. The calculation completely changes. Keyword argument matched by name. A keyword argument is placed as name equals to value at the call site. What is a keyword now? A keyword is basically a kind of argument only, but you write the main keyword of it. Like if you are using name and you're putting the value, so you write it. For an example, when you are using the power keyword, POW keyword, you write exponent equals to 5 and base equals to 2. So in this case, if you interchange also, confusion won't be there because you are mentioning it. So keyword arguments can be given in any order because Python matches them by name, not by position. So you are now clear with both positional and keyword arguments. They make function calls more readable, especially when a function has many parameters. Once you use a keyword argument in call, every argument after it also be in a keyword argument. If you are once mentioning it, you have to mention it every time. So, one more thing, if you are mentioning, you're not mentioning the base equals to 2, you're not mentioning, but you want to mention power equals to 5, you can do that because it is valid. Mixed call is valid. Okay, let's see the keyword arguments. When you create the function and you put the parameters in that, and when you print it, you can print it in this way to avoid any confusion, and it will be printed in the format of the function you have created. If you mix it, if you write name at the end also, if you write things unorderly also, it will be in ordered. So take care of that. Like here, if you write describe pet animal equals to dog, name equals to this, but the output will be in the print form. Like Rex is a 3-year-old dog. That is what I wanted you to understand. Okay. Chalo. Here comes the idea of default parameters value. What is a default parameter value? When you put some value for the parameter by default if the user doesn't enter it. Okay, a parameter can have a default value def f equals to x and y. We are naming the function as x and we are putting x comma y equals to 10 if you are not entering it, if the user is not entering it. If the caller doesn't supply that argument, Python uses the by default value. Parameters with defaults must come after parameters without defaults in the definition. Defaults keep common call short while still allowing full customization when needed. When you want full customization, that is also valid, and if you are using the default, that is completely okay. See, like if we are defining the function over here and we are putting a comma b equals to 5, that is completely okay. If we are putting f2 uses default value b, that is completely okay. f29, it overrides because both of the values are different, so it is going to override. Okay, and in this you will get syntax error. In second option you are going to get syntax error. This we'll talk about in VS Code, that when we are already passing the value and if we are doing it for the second time, why is it causing error, right? Now we talk about star arrays, accepting any number of positional arguments. Okay, sometimes you don't know in advance how many arguments a function will receive, that how many inputs a function can receive, right? So star arrays collect any extra positional arguments into a tuple inside the function. So basically when you don't know how many arguments you are going to get, you use star args. The name args is just a convention. The star is what actually matters. Useful for functions like sum of many numbers where the count can vary in each call. You don't know the actual value of it, right? Like def total args returns some args, right? So total can be 1 2 3 also, 4 5 6 7 also, or maybe 1 to any n number which you don't know, which will be taken from the user. So this is how, and this is where the idea of star argc comes. Chalo, let's talk about star argc variable positional arguments, right? Here we talked about positional arguments for argc. Here we will code about it. So def total args print received args and return some args. See, here we are calculating 3 numbers, here 4 numbers, and you can do it for any n number, right? We will code it and see. Now talk about double star keywords, accepting any number of keyword arguments. Okay, we have talked about both positional and keyword arguments. So if you're not getting it in any way, just go to 5 minutes back of this video, just pause it and just play it once again and just clear your concepts, right? Kworks collects any extra keyword arguments in dictionary inside the function. Getting my point? Each argument becomes a key value pair. The parameter name is the key. The name of the parameter which you have fed in function becomes the key, and the value whatever you pass, whatever the caller passes. Common in function that build flexible records like user profiles or configuration settings. Okay, let's see it in the code how it actually works. Def info is the name of the functions, and kworks print kworks information Anna age 21. So you can put it in this form directly. Let's see the coding question for the better understanding. We are creating a function build profile, and kworks we are putting for key value in kworks items. See, this is the idea of dictionary, which we have not covered yet. I will tell you about dictionary in the very next video for sure, but by now understand it that this is how you put the values in dictionary and print it. Okay, when I will start VS Code today, I'll tell you about dictionary also then and there, so that we can do double star kworks questions. In the next part, here you have to understand, whenever you code or whenever you do anything, you have to, if you have two similar things, you have to understand the difference so that you can get the better understanding that where to use each one of them. So star args tell you collects extra positional arguments, okay? And in double star kworks collects extra keyword arguments. This is the major difference of both of them. In args, tuple inside the function, and in kworks, dictionary inside the function. So before starting today's coding session, I'll tell you list, set, tuple, dictionary, everything, and how to solve its question, one question from each. Okay, accessed by looping or indexing. I have told you that whenever the concept of tuple comes, there will be indexing for sure, and whenever the concept of dictionary come, key value pairs will be for sure, and you will always access it in the form of dot items brackets, right? Good for some print style वगैरह, and good for flexible record settings and profiles. ठीक है, combining regular params, args and kworks. So in this you are using three of them. The normal how you actually use it, उसके बाद we are doing it with the help of args and then kworks. We'll do it in the VS Code to understand it better. Argument unpacking. So argument unpacking means how we actually spread a collection into a call. Getting the value? Getting the point? The star and double star operators also work in the opposite direction when calling a function, right? Star a dash list unpacks a list tuple into separate positional arguments, and double dash a dict unpacks a dictionary into separate keywords arguments. This is very easy to understand. Whenever you unpack this star arguments, you just unpack it into a specific list or tuple because it is positional arguments. Same goes for double star, because it is dictionary, you separate it in keywords arguments, key value pairs. Handy when your data is already collected and you want to feed it straight into a function, right? Unpacking a list and a dictionary into a call. See, we are creating a function, and this value is supposed to be returned in every call. So values you are putting like this. Now print power, and you are putting star values, right? So the output will be 3 to the power 4. Now person, and you are giving this list and you are describing kworks double star person. So this will come it in this way. All these name, animal, and all these key values will be removed, and Ira is a 2-year-old cat will be printed. Very simple, very easy. Now comes to recursion. Before recursion, I just want you to repeat that. I just want to repeat this again, that you must know the concepts of functions. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to understand and you will be completely confused, right? What is recursion? Let's talk about it. Functions that solve a problem by calling themselves. The idea, the concept of calling functions, when functions calls themselves, is only known as recursion. Okay, what is recursion? Recursion is when a function calls itself to solve a smaller version of the same problem. Each recursive call works on simpler input, moving step by step towards a case that can be answered directly, right? Recursion is alternative to loops for repeating an action. The loop is something which keeps on revolving till the actual answer comes, right? Or the number of times you have asked it to just revolve around a thing. Same goes for recursion. Recursion is the idea in which function calls itself in its own thing, right? Chalo, I'll tell you it in the form of an everyday analogy. Russian nesting dolls, open one. Find another doll inside, open that one too, until you reach the smallest doll. So you keep on doing that same thing inside and inside, and you are just in a similar kind of loop, you say, if the right word is loop. You are just revolving and getting inside that. So example for it is factorials, Fibonacci numbers. This is a very important question. Tree and folder structures, and divide and conquer algorithms, which you are also going to, I guess, solve with other coding languages. Anatomy of a recursive function. See, if you are creating a def factorial n, so when you are taking n can be any number. 5. If n equals to 0, this is very clear, return 1. If n comes to 0, return 1, else just come out of it, that if statement, and write return n. Now you are calling factorial. Now multiply n with factorial of n minus 1. You are getting the point. Now factorial of n minus 1 means 5 multiplied by 4. Okay? And the factorial of 4 is going to be 4 into 3 into 2. So this is how it actually processes. This makes your lines of code very and really easy. You will understand this when you will start coding. Let's talk about it. The simplest input answered directly. This is what stopped the recursion. So what is the recursive case? Call itself on smaller input, then comprises that result to answer the original call. This is easy. Every recursive function needs both parts. Without a base case, or if the input never reaches it, the function keeps calling itself until Python raises a recursion error, maximum recursion depth exceeded. The recursive condition will call itself till the end, the last end of it comes. And if you are doing it in a way where the end is never reached, the input value is never reached, then after a certain point it will show the recursion error and it will say that maximum recursion depth has been exceeded. Now recursion and the call stack, basically. See, call stack up the until base case. See, factorial, if you are putting as 4, the calls factorial 3. If you are putting 3, then it will call 2, and so on. So factorial 0 is the base case and it will return 0. This you know from the normal concept of coding, which we have done already. Basically talk about returns unwind back from the stack. This part is what you really need to understand, that factorial 1 returns 1 multiplied by 1. Factorial 2 returns 2 multiplied by 1. And this is just an idea of factorial. If you know what is factorial, it's very easy to code in both ways, by recursion and the way which we have already done normally, right? See, the key idea of it is each recursive call is paused and added to the call stack until the base case is reached, right? Now recursion is totally relying on the fact base case. It has to reach base case to stop. Okay, recursive factorial already understood. Now recursive countdown, like we create a function as countdown for an instance, and if n is equal to minimum equal to 0, then या फिर it is getting, the 0 is getting greater than it, so print lift off. That's it. Uske baad it comes return print n. If it comes print off, then you have to return the value of n, and then you have to count n minus 1. You're getting the point? So it is moving you towards 0, right? It is moving you towards 0. Once you get 6, then once you get 5, okay, this is about 5, so you get 5, so you don't have to print lift off, you skip, then you return 5, then you minus the countdown, then you again check this if condition, not, then fir print 4, then you again do it, fir again check it, then you print 3, and this is how till it reaches 0, and when it reaches 0, lift up, and this recursive function is done. Okay, now talks about recursion concept in the sum of list. Agar we have a list and we have to perform addition in that, so we are creating a list as sum of list, and then we are putting items. If length of the item is 0, you have to return 0. If not, return item 0 plus list number 1 is to, we are not putting is to any sign because it is moving towards infinity, right? Like you are returning item 0, item to the index 0 to 8, it is moving towards 1 to the number which is at the end. You are getting my point? I feel I need to code this and show you. So by now you understand that how it actually, you have to always put the 0 case in recursion to avoid errors. Now Fibonacci number. What is Fibonacci number? Basically, this we will code directly. Fibonacci number is something, let me tell you, like see this, like 0 plus 1, the next number will be 1, then 1 plus 1, the next number will be 2. So I adding the number which you are on now and the previous number, then 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, and it goes this way. So you have to add the number you are with on now, n minus 1 and n minus 2 to get the output. So now comes here the confusion and the idea of that how recursion and iteration is different. Both are looking very similar, aren't they? Actually they are similar. Like recursion is all about elegant for problem defined in terms of smaller versions of themselves, right? And iteration usually more memory efficient, not growing call stack. It doesn't grow call stack, and if call stack is not grown, it doesn't take that much memory. In recursion, each call uses memory on the call stack. Here, well suited to simple counting and accumulation. Can be slower and hit recursion error. This is what I told. Can handle very large input without extra risk because it doesn't hold that much capacity on anything actually. It is very free to use. In recursion, often shorter and closer to the mathematical definition. And loops, the concept of loops is very long lasting. It is sometimes more verbose to express the same idea, right? Common recursion pitfalls. There are times when it causes errors. So what are they? Let's talk about it. Missing base cases, the function never stopped calling itself. Recursion error, maximum recursion depth exceeded. Then comes the thing, base case that never reached, counting up instead of down when it couldn't shrink toward the base case. It's not shrinking, maybe it's actually growing, the case you have provided. Doing expensive repeated work, naive recursive Fibonacci recalculates the same values many times over, so it is the wastage. Rule of thumb, always check at the recursive call, moves the input closer to the base case. Getting all my point? So next, GCD is the greatest common factor, so it is very easy to take out with the help of recursion. We'll do it. Now we are done with all the concepts. Now we have to go to VS Code and then start our coding part. After that, you have to solve all these 10 questions. I will make all those questions. I'll make you do actually all those but you just need to go through all those questions, read it on your own, write it, practice it, then code it. Your wish, but please do it, because if you don't do it on your own, if you don't start reading the questions on your own, you will always be confused to how actually start coding. So without any further delay, let's get started with our coding part for the day. Okay, so let's code in VS Code. I told you that I'll tell you a few things about dictionary. So let's see how to create a dictionary. What is dictionary? First of all, dictionary is key value pairs, right? So how to create it? Let's create it. Now for an instance, just keep in mind that student is the name of the dictionary, and you are putting student's name as a key, and then the value, and the next is age, and then the value, right? This needs to be in, yeah, right? After this, you are required to put a course. Put the name of the course as the value, and let's now print student, and let's see the output. So here everything is coming, name as Shagun, age as 20, and course as BTech. Now the question comes, if I just want to print the course, so it can be printed in a certain way, like you write the name of the dictionary, that is student, then square brackets, put the key value pair in it, right? Okay, so rather than doing it this way, to directly print it, add print here. Got it? Let's see the output. Yeah, so see here we are getting BTech. After this we come to a point. Okay, now we have created our dictionary and we have seen how can we get our selected value from it. Now comes the point that if I want to add a new key value pair, like we have a course, so other than all these key value pairs, if I want to add something different like hobbies for an instant, or maybe city or location, so let's see how to actually add it. Like you put here as student, then you put here as city, what you actually want to add as a key, and then you here add the value to it, like Punjab. Okay, then you do what? You again print student. To see the difference, I am keeping the above print statement so that you can see how it's being added actually. Okay, let's run. So here in the first print you get all the three values which has been mentioned above, but after this part, after you are adding a key value pair, you are getting this, you have been added with a new key value pair, that is city equals to Punjab. Next point is about how to change a key value pair. For an instance, like I have written age is 20, but if I want to update it for an instance, so we can update it in a certain way, like student square brackets age, and then put it as 21, right? And you will print student and you will see how it's being updated. Chalo, let's see. See, now it has been updated to 21. It is showing 20 because the above print statement over here is not deleted. So whatever is being mentioned above is being printed, and after updation it comes to 21. Now comes the value if I want to delete any key. If I want to delete any key, I will write del, then the name of the dictionary and whatever the key value pair is, and then we will print. print. Clean the terminal for your better experience. See, here in the last line of it, it's the age part is getting deleted. So we have done with all the concepts of how you use dictionary, how to print dictionary, how to update it, how to add new key values to it, how to delete a key value in it. So this was all about your dictionary part. Dictionary is nothing more than a key value pair, but it is one of the most fundamental parts of our Python, right? That's why I just took a minute to explain you this so that you can understand the positional and key arguments in a better way. So before starting it, I would comment all this so that there will be no confusions. Okay. Now we'll talk about positional arguments, which was the topic of the day actually. So like for an instance, we are creating a function as power, def po, and then you place base and exponent. We are not using po as a power over here, so we have to give it a return statement. We are making it on our own. You did it, and then you are putting the return factor. Return, you are putting base, right? Base to the power, double star, and the exponent. What I told you about positional arguments is the way you enter your input matters. If you change it, the meaning of the output will completely change. Okay? Let's see. If I print it in this way, now I'm going to call my function. I am printing this. I'm calling power, right? And I'm putting values to it. If I'm adding 2 and 5, sorry, it was po. If I'm adding putting 2 and 5, and in the later I'm putting 5 and 2. I told you that this has got completely different meanings, but let's see if it is actually having. Coding is all about analyzing the outputs. The more you analyze, the more you'll learn. Okay, chalo. See, here you're getting 32 and in the next you're getting 25. So it has completely changed the meaning. One is saying 2 to the power 5, other is saying 5 to the power 2. Got it? Moving to the next question, we'll understand about key arguments. Here we understood about positional arguments. Right? Okay, let's comment this out and let's go to the next point. Okay. Keyword arguments. Right? In this we will make a functions as well. In this maybe we are creating something which describes a pet, about a pet, right? In that you're putting its name, then you're talking about what animal it is and the age of the pet. Okay. In the next you are putting a print in the form of a print statement, that how you want the things to be printed in what format, right? Just a basic print statement like print, and the way I told you, like you put it as this, and in the mid of it you have to put the things like name in bracket is rather than putting name, if you put curly braces over here, you will get the value of name over there, right? That is the idea of is then you put this curly bracket so that you get the value of age, and you put years old, and then the animal, which animal it is. This is how you created your function, and now you have to see that describe pet animal is equals to dog. See, what we are actually doing in this question, that the second part is that which kind of animal it is, right? But we are putting it into first. Name equals to Rex and age equals to 4. So wherever you put, the format of it will be followed by this and this. So that is the idea of keyword arguments. Whatever format of the thing you keep in that, but the output will be always in a specific format. It won't be changed. So your input won't matter that way. See, Rex is a 4-year-old dog, and this is the only format over here. If you want to ignore spaces over here, see. So this is how it is working. Now talking about, let's comment this out. Oh god. Here. Let's clean the terminal. Let's comment that out. Okay. After that, we'll talk about the variable positional arguments, star args. I told you. Basically, it is used when you don't know how many inputs you might get in that particular function. You're getting my point? Let's do it in the form of code. Like you are creating def, you're defining a function def total, and you're putting args. So here args is defining that you don't know how many numbers will be there in this particular function. Matlab, you are not knowing that how many numbers the input, the user is going to input, right? See, you have to print received, maybe received. Oh, okay, just a moment, let me received, and then args, and then you have to print sum and args. You getting it? Oh, did I? Oh god, here it needs to be the sum function and then the args. You're getting my point, right? Next in part, you have to print what you actually want. Total 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 2 for an instance. Let's run it and see if it's actually being implemented or not. See, here it is showing some error. And why is it showing that error? Let me fix this. If you import math, can that be implemented? Import math. I feel this won't work in this way also, but I just wanted to give it a try. See, it's also not working. So why are you getting that error? You are using args also, you are using what to total also, but it is not giving the value to it, right? So let's fix this. Let's figure that out. Yeah. So basically we are not talking about any sum of thing and things over here. So what to actually do so that the function, so I tried to fix this many times, but I found that my VS Code wasn't updated, and that was the only issue. So the code was completely correct. So what I was saying is, basically when you put here star.args, you just specify that the user doesn't need to be concerned about how many inputs that person is giving. It's all about how to calculate it. That's why we are using this. So print total of these 3 numbers, then print total of these 5, 6 numbers, or whatever n numbers you want to see if this is being running. Received the sum of this is 25, and then of this, that is 50. Okay, coming to double star k-walks. Because of this topic, I was trying to explain you the concept of dictionary, because in this you majorly talk about that, because it is a variable code of it, and it is a variable keyword argument of it, and this actually revolves around the idea of dictionary. So k-walks, let's start with it. So before doing anything, what you need to do is you have to define a function. Simple. Define build profile. For instance, you are creating a profile and you have to add kvox. Okay, let's see. You have a lot of key value pairs, that's why you are adding this. Okay, now inside this function you need to define a few things, like for key value in kvox dot items. So in any of the question, if it is related to kvox, where you find that it is using kvox and the concept of dictionary comes, this line comes to role. You have to actually somehow learn it so that you can use this syntax everywhere. Okay, now what you have here you have to print, actually what you have to actually print when this idea of kvox comes. You have to print simply whatever you want to, like the key and the value. Got my point? Now next comes, you have created the function, you are done with things. Now comes calling a function. You call build profile and the idea of keywords function tells you that you have to mention the key also and the value also. Chalo, let's mention both of it. Like you put name, because it is about profile, you are putting name equals to name equals to Shagun, age equals to 20, and course equals to BTech. Got it? After this you are done. You have nothing to do. Let's print and see what the output says. See, it gives you all of the values. Now comes to the topic. Let's copy this. Let's just copy this line and print it. Just paste it and add another key to it, which is city. Let's add Jaipur. Now let's see. Did I run it twice by any chance? I feel. Oh, sorry. This line is there, no? Let's remove it. Okay. And now run it. See. So you keep on adding the key value pairs to it. It will be directly mentioned if you use kvox. Okay? This is the only concept behind ARGS. In that question, see the above question. So in these both things, you don't need to specify number of inputs. So basically this is the whole idea behind that. When you use star ARGS, you use it in positional key arguments, and when you use double star kvox, you use it for keywords arguments. Got it? Let's comment this out first, then we'll move to the other questions. Okay, let's talk about unpacking of a list and a dictionary by call. When you call it, or into call, let's say into call, how to do it. So for an instance, you create a function as power. You put it as base and exponent, and then you simply write the return value as I have said it. Return power and exponent. Okay. Now you have to put the value to it, like value, and then print power and values to it. Values, right? So let's print it. Sorry, here it needs to be value because we have taken value, right? Did I miss something? Am I typing something wrong? Return power. Oh god, this needs to be base, Baba. This needs to be base. Base to the power exponent. I am mistyping today. I don't know why. See, let's run it. You get 81. 3 to the power 4. Now, rather than 3 or 4, if you are rather than 3 and 4, if you plan to mention the value as 7, 9, run it. So you get this value. And next comes the idea to so here you understand that how you are unpacking of a list. Here you are mentioning a list, and that is basically being unpacked because you are somehow not mentioning that what part of it is what. It is just assuming, unpacking it on their own and putting the concepts into it. Got you? Now comes the part of recursion. Before starting recursion, I just want you to take your pen and paper out, write the codes down, understand it because it is a bit confusing part over there. And if you have not understood in the theory part when we were talking about, just replay it once and get onto the points, right? You know, why is it important to find your mistakes on your own? I spent 10 to 15 minutes in just finding it, and the error here was I didn't write print over here. That's why I wasn't getting any output. So the much time you invest on looking at things and analyzing what kind of mistakes you're making over there, that makes you way too experienced in coding. Let's run it. Yeah, you get the output as 120. So now you have an idea that how you actually call the function itself to perform the task, right? Okay, moving to the next code. Okay, in this we are actually countdowning. We are creating a countdown, basically right here, countdown. In that, what we will do, we will try to write something, and the counting will go backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll put a case like when it reaches to 0. It cannot go below 0. If you set it that way, you have to print lift off, right? It can be done in this way, that you create a function over here as countdown and you put whatever n value you want to. Then you put a if case. Then you put an if case and you set it minimum as 0. It cannot go beyond 0. And then you put that if this comes, you have to print lift off. Got it? And till it doesn't come, return. You have to return to the fact that you have to print n. If this doesn't come, you have to print n. You getting the point? And every time it reaches, you have to count down to n minus 1. How is this running? Let me tell you first. See, you are creating a function as countdown, then you are setting a value as it shouldn't go below 0. So you are putting when it comes to 0, it will directly print lift off and it will cut it. The function will be break there. So basically, if this is not the case, because it will check to 0 every time. If it is not the case, you have to return to the function and print n every time if this is not the case. And again you have to count down to n minus 1, so that you are counting down and you are using it as recursion in the function. You have to count it every time, and when you count it every time, it checks every time that if it is 0 or below it checks it, and if it is not, it again prints n. So this is how it is processing. So let's put countdown over here, countdown, and call maybe 6. See, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lift off when it reached 0. But before printing any number like 4 and 3, it will check it every time for this condition if it is equal to 0 or less than 0. It won't go less than 0 because it will check it before that and it will print lift off. Else it could have printed at least 0 and -1 for sure if that wasn't the case. Right? Let's talk about Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series goes like if the number is printed as 1 1. So 1 plus 1 2, then 1 plus 2 3, then 3 plus 2 5. So this is how Fibonacci series goes on. Let's comment it down and let's talk about it. Did I do something wrong here? Might be. Okay, Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series. So before doing anything, you have to create a function that is Fibonacci. Put the value as n to with what number you want to take it. Fibonacci n, and if n comes to 1, because 0 is not considered in this, so it is 1, then return n, that is 1. You getting my point? The least value it can have is 1 and the output that time will be 1. Then come out of it and return. Every time it has to the previous number and the number before it. N's previous number to n minus 1's previous number. Okay, this way. If you just take a pen and paper and try to calculate, you will get this better. Why n minus 1 and n minus 2 we are considering? Why not n plus n minus 1? Got my point? Now let's see if you have to put a range in this. If you want to put a number in it, better. Let me just try it for a number. If I put 6 in this, how does it process? Then I'll tell you how to take a list of number in this. Again, I'm calling it and I'm not printing it. God, this is the very common mistake I do, that I don't print the values and I search for it. See, 8 is coming. You getting my point? How is 8 coming? It is actually adding 6 numbers, right? 1 1, then 1 plus 2 3, and then 3 plus. This is how it is adding actually, but I want to do it for a series of number. Maybe let's delete it and I print it for I in range. I'm applying for loop, and for I in range 8, right? Print Fibonacci I, and it should be end with a space. Okay, why we are putting this? Because in the range 8, it will start from 1 somehow. 8 8, and then it will come to 1 plus 2, 2 plus 3, 1 plus 1 1 plus 1, उसके बाद 1 plus 2, then 2 plus 3, then 3 plus 4, and so on. So let's run and see. See, this is the Fibonacci series you got. You're getting my point? So till 8, till the range of 8, you will get it. Getting my point? So this is how you get Fibonacci series. Now I want to talk about one of the important concepts, that is GCD. What is GCD? Basically, in your easiest language, GCD can be considered as HCF. Highest common factors, greatest common divisor, both are clearly same things. So when you have to find GCD, you have to define a function GCD, and then you have to put two values, that is A and B. Yeah. A and B, and then if B is somehow equals to A, if B is equals to A, then simply B is equal to 0, easily return A. You getting my point? If B is 0, the greatest common factor will be A only. because 0 cannot be considered in that way. If not 0, then return GCD B A modulus B. A modulo B. So here, now what you are doing, here you are calling GCD in the GCD function only to get the value of it. Now you have to find the GCD of a particular thing. So you put it like GCD, add some number which you really know what is the GCD of it to understand it, like 5 and 25. So 5 will be the GCD. Let's see what is the answer. Let's comment it out. Comment this out. Right? So GCD of B, then A modulo B, and then you print it. Let's see. So 5. So it is all about HCF. Right? You're getting the point? You keep it in that way. When B equals to 0, then you return A directly. And if not, then you take B and then you do A modulo B to find the GCD of the following thing. So this was all about the coding part today. Let's go to the PPT and check what all questions you're getting for your homework today. So we are done with the coding part. Now I just want to see, just want to discuss this homework question so that you can get it better. So in the very first homework question, you have to write a function sum all using star args that accepts any number of numbers. We have done it already. You have to just write it and code it on your own. Right, moving it. Write a function print info using double star keywords that accepts any number of keyword arguments and each key value on its own line. So I have told you where to use keywords, and basically you will have to enter key value pairs in it. How is key value pairs entered? In the form of dictionary. I have already told. I have also made you do a few basic concept questions of dictionary. So do first watch the video carefully and then go to the homework questions. Now this question is, write a function, calculate total, discount, and call it in 3 different ways, just a price with a custom tax, and all this with different arguments. This is very easy. It is just that you need to call it 3 times. Right? Given a list of 3 numbers, use star unpacking to pass them as separate arguments in a function at ABC. This type of question we have also done. Do practice it. It is one of the most important questions in homework actually. This is a bit different. We have done this question from this topic, but this is a bit different. So do check it out, that how you just do it in the form of indexing, right? Okay, write a recursive function factorial n that we calculates the non-negative integer. This question we have also done. Very easy. Just put it and do. Right? Write a recursive function reverse strings that returns the reverse of a given string without using slicing. Because I have not taught you slicing, so you are asked to do it in a different way, right? This is an interesting question. Do it. This is one of the most important questions as well. I will add this PPT in the description so that you can get everything is available on ChatGPT, Claude, and a lot of AI things. But what I want you to do is that you start learning from very basics. If we are known with the fact that A to Z letters are available in a certain book, Google, or whatever, doesn't mean that we won't learn it, because it's available online. A human needs to develop the core of any of the subjects. So just start from the very basic of it so that you can develop things on your own. You should not rely on AI. You should use AI to make your works easier. That's all about how to use AI. Okay. Next question, write a recursive function digit sum that returns the sum of the digits of not negative integer. This is easy. Use floor division and modulus concept. I have already taught you this in the previous lectures as well. Next comes, write a recursive function print Fibonacci that prints first and numbers of Fibonacci sequence. I told you this question we have done today itself, so that's how it will process. Next question is write a recursive function GCD AB that resolves the, this we have also done, that is explicit algorithm. This question we have also done. So the last question for the day is write a recursive function is palindrome that returns true if string reads the same forwards. And yeah, palindrome numbers are those strings are those which you read it from, if you read it from beginning to end it is same, from end to beginning is it also same. So you have to put condition and understand that how it actually can be coded. And I just want you to all to just give me a comment of a palindrome string. Yeah, the words which if you read from backward same sounds and from beginning same sound. The very constant words that is hitting my mind after reading the word palindrome is madam. If you read it from beginning it is madam, from ending also it's madam only. So that was all about the day, about all the coding questions. These all are the solutions, you can go through it. It's very easy, all the questions are very easy, you just need to practice it and understand the core concepts of it, right? Everything is correlated, so keep on exploring, keep on learning. What are the takeaways of the day? You guys learned about what is the difference between parameter and arguments, positional keywords kya hote hain, star args, then double stack keywords, recursion, call stack. These are a few things which you learned about, and actually you learned it in a very deep manner. You just got a core concept of it, then you coded it and you completed your concept. So this was all about the day. Let me just tell you what you're going to learn in the very sixth lecture of our Python series. We'll talk about creating indexing and slicing. Apart from that, we will also talk about append, remove, sort and more. Apart from that, looping over list I will teach you, combined with function. When we create our own function, then we apply the concept of loops on the list. This is what we will learn in the sixth lecture. Next is recursion on list, how you can perform recursion of list. We have done a few questions on it, but I want you to do it in a specific manner so that you get an idea of it, that how you put it on tuple, how you put it on list. So this was all about the day. The only thing I want you is questions, do drop them in the comments, and whatever doubt you're facing regarding any of the coding questions, you do comment me. I am here to solve that. And it was a really good session, I feel, because this session actually had the core concepts of Python, and it turned out to be really interesting. If you start solving questions on your own that is related to either function or recursion, that will create your interest in coding language. And I must say, if you're a student from computer science, you should believe in coding, create something on your own, try a specific question, same question on different methods, that how can you really perform it on your own. And if you have any setup problem on VS Code also, do tell me, keep updating it, because if you have not updated it, it causes some errors. It did it with me as well. And don't do that mistake that you keep on calling the function and you don't actually print it. So this was all about the day. Hope you liked the video. I'll meet you guys in the next video, and by then, take care and don't forget to subscribe.